March 24th will mark the day the latest class of the Palm Beach County Sports Hall of Fame will be inducted, and one member of that class joining us now. He's a Cardinal Newman alum. He's a Clemson. He's a Raider. He's done it all. Jacoby Ford will be a part of that class. Jacoby, when you hear it, when you get the announcement saying, "Hey, you're a Hall of Famer in Palm Beach County," what was that feeling like for you?
It was surreal, just very humbling and just grateful, just because I know how many people have come through Palm Beach County, and just to be able to represent my family, represent myself, represent my high school, just and everybody that was in my circle in my corner the whole time. It's an honor, and I'm super excited, just to it's like the hometown kid, you get your flowers from your city, you're excited, it means a lot, it's a real fulfilling moment, so me and my family we're very excited.
You give back to this area. You're a current coach at West Boca. You're part of that staff. How can you use this when talking to you as inspiration? Because most people see Jacoby Ford. You're not the biggest star. You're not one of those guys in terms of size that walks in like, hey, that must be someone. You've proved it on the field without that size. So how do you use this as saying, hey, if you put your mind to it, you really can do anything?
I just make sure they know that size doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're 5'4", if you're 6'4". If you're 5'4", you gotta play big. You gotta play 5'11". Play like a big guy, and just gotta play with heart. And you gotta outwork people. You gotta make sure you do those little things right to kind of give yourself the edge over the next person because everybody's getting a lot bigger, a lot stronger nowadays. So you gotta stay up to date on things. And my message, I just make sure they're just very fundamentally sound. My guys at Newman will tell you that. My guys over here at West Boca will tell you that. I just want you to never be shocked whenever you get to that next level. I want you to be ready to go in there and be ready to play, especially mentally. Because physically, I know you'll be ready, but more mentally, I want you to be even more ready. So how to play the game, and you go out there and play fast and play loose, and that's when good things happen on the field.
Jacoby Ford, that's the latest member of the Palm Beach County Sports Hall of Fame. We see it every Friday night in Palm Beach County, the talent that's in this area. It doesn't get the national attention that maybe a Broward and Dade do. But how did Friday nights in Palm Beach County prepare you for ACC football and then ultimately the NFL?
Man, it was great. I mean, you play with the best of the best. You were always honestly out there. At least I know I was always out there competing against the best. Suncoast and Glaze Central and Pahokee. Those teams are very very tough. Even Pope John Paul as well. They were very tough. And just to go out there and you have to go out there and give it your all. You couldn't go out there and slack off because if you did, there's a good chance you can get beat. And we knew the teams that we were up against, whether we were underdogs and nobody ever gave us a chance, but we always hung in there and gave people a dogfight. That's one thing I will say. We always fought hard, and whether we won or lost, we were always in the game pretty much every time.
The other football members a part of this class, Matt Elam, Antone Smith. What do you know about both of their games and what they contributed?
I played against Antone. Played
Okay.
against him in high school. Played against him when he went to Florida State. And I mean, he's a tremendous back. He was somebody that you knew he was going to get his yards. No matter what you were doing, or what scheme you were going to do, you just got to try to tackle him before he gets going because he would literally sit back there about 10 yards deep, and you just see him with a visor back there, and you're like, he's going to get that draw because he just would just sit back there. Then he just gets it and he makes one quick move and then he was gone. So, and I'm like, hey, I got to highlight, he's on my highlight tape tackling him. So I'm excited about that. Little guy tackling Antone Smith, he was Mr. Florida, ran for so many yards, just a tremendous back. And, Matt, he was over at Dwyer. I know Matt a long time. I knew Matt when Matt was a lot younger. I didn't see him much in high school how much he played, but I definitely saw that he brought a couple championships over to Dwyer. But I saw him more in college. And I mean, he plays the game right. He plays the game with intensity. Plays it smart. He knows what his guys are doing, and he's a guy that you can tell he was out there playing for his brothers. And that's one thing that was taught with our group. And I can tell it's a great group. Well, actually, I know it's a great group. Just because I know how Matt was raised. I know everything that was instilled into him. He has a tremendous supporting cast with his brother Abe, Then he has his nephew Kair. So I mean, that family is just, they're bred for it, and they know what to do, and they've done it right. And it's just a tremendous honor to be in there with both of them.
Jacoby Ford, us joining the Palm Beach County Sports Hall of Fame Sunday, March 24th. You coached at West Boca this year. How special was it to be a part of that this year, where obviously you guys are accomplishing big things, but you're doing historic things that school had never seen. What was that
Yeah.
like this past season?
Um, Honestly, to me, I've been used to win. I've been since being at Newman. You were spoiled. So we were used to winning. So you just kind of wanted to bring that, that mentality over there. That get used to this. And I knew the task that we were up against because we were a very young team. A lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores that contributed that play. Very few seniors that we had, and we literally seen a team grow up right before your eyes. And I think that's something that I really appreciate it. And just the hard work that they do and they put in, and how much structure that we have over there. Just with the schedule, it's super organized. Our head coach is very OCD, so he's just like very on it. He doesn't sit still. Love his energy, and it's been fun. We're just a growing school, and it's a lot closer to home for me. And it's been different. It was definitely different at first. Just had to, adjust, learn different kids, learn what they do well, learn what I got to work with them on, to make them even better. But it's been great, just to see the growth in them. I can already just tell they're going to be ready for another great season.
You talk about Antone Smith being one of those backs that was going to get his yards. Javian Mallory in the West Boca backfield, one of those guys. What's it like watching him on a day-to-day basis?
It's absolutely it's crazy because he does it in practice, and it just translates over into the game. You line him out there, receiver. He's one of the best on the field. Great hands, super strong. I got him on. I got Clemson. They're gonna come look at him. So, he's super. He was super excited about that. I had CJ look at his film, and CJ he liked what he saw, so he said he's gonna come down and check him out. And honestly, he's a great kid too. That's one thing about him, just how great he is, how smart he is. He does those little things right already. He's going to be going into his junior year, but he just does everything right that you want in the back. And when he speaks, the kids listen, and he leads by example. And he's just a true dog and true running back. And I love watching him play. Love watching him play.
You mentioned CJ Spiller. You play with him at Clemson. He's now an assistant at Clemson. How special is that to where you're able to go to him and not just say, hey, I want every kid recruited? Because obviously you want to see these guys play on Saturdays. But for him to trust you and know that, hey, if you're giving him a call, this guy's ready for ACC football. What's that like for you?
It's great because I bother him all the time. Uh, I bother him all the time with who I want to get the ball in the game. He responds sometimes he doesn't. But for the most part, he listens. And I told him, I said, hey, this guy rushed for 345 and 3 TDs and against Ely, and he did it very, very, very tremendously. So I said, you need to look at him, and I got his attention, and he just literally ended up calling me. He said, hey, I like him. He said, I'm gonna come down and see him. He was just like, I don't know what's running for him. I'm like, he's just him. He's different. I can't pinpoint how he runs. I say he runs like Javian Mallory. He has his own style. He can juke you, then he can juke you, then he can run away from you. People don't know how fast he actually really is, but once he gets rolling, man, he can run. And they don't know how really great of a receiver he is too. So he's a guy that can do it all. He's gonna be fun to watch on Saturdays. Trust me.
Last couple of things here with Jacoby Ford, the team that drafted you in the NFL, the Raiders, now of Las Vegas, going through some head coaching searchings right now. The players are very vocal about Antonio Pierce. I asked this as a Raider fan. You as a player, how much do you think the front office should put into the stock and the players saying, hey, AP's our guy?
I think they need to listen to 110% for once, because sometimes the players want who they want, and whoever they want to play for, they're going to play for, and they trust him. And I know that he puts them in position to make plays and to be successful because he played the game. He played the game at the highest level. He's won at the highest level. He has a Super Bowl ring, and the guy, he knows football. And when you have a guy that knows football and knows your players and he knows how this game is, like, players respect that, and they want to play for that. You want to play for a guy that wants to look out for his team, wants his guys to win, and have fun doing it, and doing it the Raider way. That's how they're supposed to look. That's how they're supposed to be looking, like bad boys of the NFL. That's the rap they have, and I'm glad he's bringing that swag back to him. I'm all for it. I'm all about AP.
Sunday, March 24th, Jacoby Ford joins the Palm Beach County Sports Hall of Fame. I know you're big on preparation. How much have you already started thinking about what that speech is going to be like 2 months from now?
Honestly, I'm probably not going to write a speech.
Okay.
Me, because that we have a few people that have to go ahead of us. Because at Clemson, I didn't write anything at all. I never have. I just kind of just speak just freely and just kind of just let it flow, and just it usually comes out the way I want it to most of the time. So, I just keep it short and sweet. Because it's the hometown, and it just means a lot. I can have my high school buddies there. Hopefully I can arrange that to get them there, because they had a big reasoning for me to be there. So, just say I'm excited. I'm excited.
Sunday, March 24th, the Palm Beach County Sports Hall of Fame. Jacoby Ford will be part of that class. Jacoby, congrats and thanks so much for the time.
Nah, man, thank you. Appreciate you for having me.